15 Lessons Prince William Learned from Queen Elizabeth II. If you have ever watched the movie Simba or The Lion King, you will see the story play out in the life of Prince William and his grandmother, the late Queen Elizabeth II. Prince William, Prince of Wales, and the heir to the British throne has been taking lessons on how to rule the kingdom by observation from his grandmother from his teenage years. Doesn't that make you think of Simba finding out he will take Mufasa's place in Disney's Animal Hamlet? Keep watching as we unveil 15 lessons Prince William learned from Queen Elizabeth. Number 1. Political neutrality. For over 7 decades, the late Queen was on that throne. She maintained neutrality over politics. Despite the countless numbers of prime ministers' conflicts and scandals, the Queen has never been seen siding with one party over the other. For instance, when a British tabloid claimed she backed Brexit, Buckingham Palace denied it. The Queen has remained politically neutral for over 63 years. She believes that her core responsibility is to advise and warn and not to prefer or favor any political party more than the other. In 2012, Prince William reportedly called his grandmother a role model and has followed this legacy. It's no doubt that he will be his monarch. He will probably follow the footprints of his grandmother, whom he believes is above politics. Number 2. Adaptation and Modernization. 7 decades of social, political, and personal transformation were woven into the Queen's reign. Her professional trajectory is marked by documented periods of widespread public devotion and utter contempt. Her accession was christened in the grim austerity of a post-war reality before transitioning into the glitz and youth that ushered in her role as a sovereign. Following the passing of Princess Diana, Elizabeth in the 1990s experienced intense resentment for the stoic leader who was unable to connect with her country. Her ability to remain adaptable in the face of adversity ultimately defined her legacy. Queen Elizabeth's popularity fluctuated between devotion, contentment, and complacency. Her capacity to predict the trends, wants, and preferences of her kingdom kept her a constant presence and consciousness of her brand consumption. Queen Elizabeth II was renowned for her ability to adapt and be resilient, which she put to use by guiding her government through numerous difficulties and changes. In today's fast-paced corporate world, every leader must have the capacity to adapt and be resilient in the face of change. Prince William learned this great lesson from the Queen. He is aware that he will eventually have to assume the throne and do it in the Cambridge manner. William is aware that the monarchy needs to modernize to remain relevant, and he has already made it more vulnerable on the inside. Number 3. Strong sense of responsibility. The needs of her nation and her people came first, and Queen Elizabeth II was renowned for having a strong sense of responsibility. Effective leadership is characterized by a commitment to duty and responsibility that indicates a devotion to the organization's mission and core values. Behind Prince William's friendly grin is a fierce resolve not to fail himself, his loved ones, or his country. He takes his responsibilities seriously, and his father, King Charles, and grandmother, the Queen, had increasingly looked to him for advice on current events. Number 4. The importance of family. Together with her faith and sense of responsibility, the Queen's family served as a pillar from which she drew strength and comfort throughout her life. Over the history of her reign, Her Majesty's family has provided crucial support, from her father's mentoring in her early years to working members of the royal family taking on many of her official obligations. She has always emphasized the importance of family and has been the glue that unites the royal family together. Prince William has been engrossed in this role as he is a family man. William has shown great support to his family, and this has attracted great love to him. Number 5. Public service. Queen was a woman who had a strong sense of duty and was genuinely committed to serving the people. She insisted on performing her duties as the person in charge of monitoring the change of Prime Minister up until her dying days, albeit from Scotland's Balmoral Castle because she was too weak to go to the traditional site of Buckingham Palace. She gave extraordinary devotion. Her strong sense of obligation to serve will serve as a valuable model for how Prince William will establish his rule. She forged connections with more than 600 charities, military groups, professional bodies, and public service organizations during her 70-year rule. Prince William has shown great commitment to public service through his numerous charity works. Number 6. Consistency. The Queen understood the value of dependability and consistency. She always delivered because she was aware of what was expected of her. She naturally always acted exceptionally, so people never had to guess how to treat her. Being consistent in action formed the vital part of the Queen's reign. Prince William observed this quality, and it shaped his values of staying consistent in his path and being dependable. Leaders that consistently carry out their promises and accomplish their objectives. People are more likely to trust their leader when they observe someone with a consistent manner and a track record of getting things done. If people respect you as a leader, it is easier to get them to follow your instructions. One of the main reasons people admired the Queen so much was her consistency. What you witnessed every time the Queen made a public statement was what you anticipated. She was unwavering. Number 7. Resilience. Queen Elizabeth II was renowned for her ability to adapt and be resilient, and she proved this by guiding her government through numerous difficulties and upheavals. To maintain the strength of her people and those impacted by calamities, she needed to deliver stirring speeches. Because of her position of power, she frequently dealt with challenging situations and disagreements. The Queen's advice to never complain, never explain has helped Prince William win over the public. Prince William received an approval rating of 80% in the UK, second only to the Queen's approval rating of 85%, according to Lacey. Number 8. Diplomacy. The Queen supports the work of the Foreign, Commonwealth, and Development Office both at home and abroad, playing a crucial role in UK diplomacy. Her Majesty has traveled to more than 100 nations during her reign at the UK government's request, and she continues to host hundreds of world leaders, ambassadors, and other diplomats each year for state visits, audiences, and other engagements of royal residences. Her diplomatic abilities contribute to the preservation of friendly relations between states. As he assumes greater leadership roles, Prince William unquestionably has to learn this lesson. Number 9. Great sense of humor. Queen Elizabeth is one of the longest reigning monarchs who always gave off the impression that she disapproved of what was going on in the world. Although she always had a frown on her face, she was a very hilarious person. She excelled at deadpan one-liners because of her dry British sense of humor. Because of who she was, it was much funnier to see the Queen make a joke. She didn't always crack jokes. Since she came to the throne in 1952, she has succeeded in doing so by taking her work seriously. But she was able to inject a little humor into her routine tasks. She is the source of Prince William's sense of humor. Number 10. Respect for all. Her capacity to respect others is another quality that sets her apart. She has always believed that respect comes with work. Her guiding principle has always been respect and be respected. She preferred to keep a low profile and let others carry out their duties because she disliked interfering with and disrespecting other people. She has never misbehaved with anyone in front of her, which speaks volumes about her demeanor and character. Prince William is a man who shows great respect for all, despite their status. Number 11. Duty over self. The Queen best exemplified the duty-first philosophy during her 70-year reign, maybe more than any other leader in contemporary history. Since becoming queen at the tender age of 25, following her father's passing, she has never put anything before the throne and has always considered her job as a monarch as her life's principal calling. She has always viewed leadership as a form of service, both to the people you are in charge of and the aims and objectives you all share. It's a leadership style that puts people before themselves and concentrates on your shared goal with them. She had a life of total and utter devotion to her responsibility to serve and unite the nation, starting with her training as a truck mechanic during World War II and continuing through the appointment of Liz Truss as the new Prime Minister of the UK in her final days. Prince William is living out this lesson in his devotion to duty and service. Number 12. Grace under pressure. The Queen showed leadership from an early age and always handled situations delicately. Her late Majesty gave up her youth and dedicated herself to preserving peace in our country. According to Ernest Hemingway, courage is grace under pressure. This trait appears to be particularly strong in the Queen. Elizabeth maintained her composure and carried out her royal duties even during the difficult 1990s, when there were several issues between her children and their spouses, and the monarchy was being attacked by Republicans, some of whom wanted to dismantle that institution. She can operate under pressure with grace and dignity, which is a great lesson for Prince William to emulate. Uneasy lies the head that wears the crown. Emulating this virtue helps Prince William to maintain grace and dignity amid diverse challenges. Number 13. Lifelong learning. In the 1990s, Queen Elizabeth received her education at home like many other well-off young women. Elizabeth became first in line to the throne after her father, King George VI, abdicated in 1936. To prepare for her upcoming duty, she began studying constitutional history and law. Her father paid for her schooling and received his religious education from the Archbishop of Canterbury. She also studied French with several Belgian and French governesses. It was a talent that served the Queen well, especially during visits to France and other French-speaking countries. She was a brilliant communicator, a lifelong learner, and an excellent motivator. Prince William's passion for education and continuous learning came from the example the Queen set for him. Number 14. Privacy matters. Her Majesty is an exceedingly private person who believes in upholding the secrecy of the monarchy and who has kept her tastes and private life largely under wraps despite spending decades of her life in front of the camera. No matter the hour or her location, the Queen is said to end each day by writing her feelings and thoughts down in her secret notebook. Only one person has ever been allowed to read Her Majesty's musings. Queen Elizabeth II, who is frequently cited as one of the richest women in the world, has kept her money a secret. Prince William surely inherited this lesson of privacy from the Queen. Calm and balanced in public, Prince William is an intensely private man who guards his personal life keenly. Number 15. Stewardship. The then Princess Elizabeth publicly declared her intention to dedicate her life to the service on April 21, 1947, her birthday. I thus swear in front of you all that I will devote the entirety of my life, long or short, to serving you and the vast imperial family to which we all belong. She remained true to her words during her reign as queen and did not change them. She lived as a steward, understanding that God granted her earthly power and responsibility not for her to abuse, but rather to serve. At the coronation in 1953, she swore her allegiance to God before anybody else, as was mentioned at the state funeral. She consistently showed leadership in both good and terrible circumstances, day in and day out. Except for Christmas and Good Friday, she worked non-stop every day of her reign, continuously reading and signing the official papers in the large red box. What other lessons do you think Prince William learned from the Queen? Share with us in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel for more interesting updates.